RTO with Iain. Welcome to Tuesday. Welcome to the first part of the Jeff Lynnes story. We've got a few shows to do about Jeff Lynnes and his music career, so we're going to start where it all began for him. His first band was a band called Idle Race. It was formed in the late 60s, didn't last long. Jeff was only around for the first two albums. They were formed in the Midlands, and they had a significant link to ELO and the Move. The original band was Jeff Lynnes on vocals, Dave Pritchard on guitars, Greg Masters bass, and Roger Spencer on the drums. So they had 3 albums, so we'll have a look at these albums. And coming at number 3 is their final studio album, released in 1970, called Time Is. Now by this time Jeff Lynnes had left. So he was replaced by vocalist Dave Walker, and they brought in a guitar player called Mike Hopkins. So the full lineup of the band for this last album was Dave Pritchard vocals, rhythm guitar and flute, Dave Walker vocals, harmonica, piano, Mike Hopkins lead guitars and vocals, Greg Masters the bass, and Roger Spencer the drums. First track on this album is called Dancing Flower. Very folky this is, got some nice flute though, really nice flute tune, isn't too bad. Then we get Sad Oh Sad. This is quite psychedelic, really hoopy, that's pleasant enough now. The Clock, very dreary thing, nothing spectacular I'm afraid. I Will See You, very Simon and Garfunkel, it's pleasant enough I suppose. By the Sun, not too bad, very early Pink Floyd sound though. It's the best track on the album. Alcatraz, that's a little bit rocky, but nothing spectacular, it's just pretty ordinary. Then we get On the Rain. It's very country, more country than rock. She sang hymns out of tune. Yes, these are singing out of tune. It sounds like a load of blokes singing when they're absolutely half cut. Yeah, not very good at all. Bitter Green, that's not very good either. Then the last track, We Want It All. The vocals are not very good, but the actual song itself's pretty good. Well, what can you say about this album? It's listenable. It's got a few highlights on it, but it's certainly missing the production of Jeff Lynnes. So I'll give it an RTO ranking of 5 out of 10 because it's not too bad. Pretty listenable. Okay, coming in at number 2, we have the debut album released in 1968, The Birthday Party. This has got obviously Jeff Lynnes vocals, guitar and piano, Dave Pritchard guitars and vocals, Greg Masters bass and vocals, Roger Spencer on the drums and vocals. First track is called Skeleton and the Roundabout. This is like a load of guys playing the Magic Roundabout theme on speed. It's not very good at all. In fact, it's rubbish. Then we get the Happy Birthday tune done on a violin. Then we get a track called The Birthday. You can see what Jeff Lynnes was going to be up to. It's already laying down the foundations of his career with this song. This is more Move, what he did in the Move, than ELO, but it's a pretty good track. I Like My Toys. It's a bit of a bizarre track. Again, they all sound like they're drunk. Not particularly great. Morning Sunshine, very Beatlesque. This is. I mean, Beatles is one of Jeff Lynnes' inspirations. I mean, he produced records for all of them bar John Lennon, didn't he? So, yeah, it is. That's pretty good. It's very short as well. It's very the Beatles. It's a very good track. Follow Me, Follow. Again, them foundations are being laid for the rest of his career. Sitting in My Tree. This would be more Chas and Dave's street, really. It's a bit of a London bumper bumper sort of track. It's all right, I suppose. Don't Put Your Boys in the Army, Mrs. Ward. Again, very, very Beatles. Pie in the Sky. Sounds more like a movie theme, you know, some soundtrack. It's not too bad. The Lady Said She Could Fly. Psychedelic, weird. It's up there with Arnold Lane and them sort of tracks. Bike, you know, weird and wonderful. And then we get The End of the World. It's got some quirky little melodies in it. It isn't too bad. As an album, some very good tracks on here. A lot of nonsense as well, but the potential was there already for Jeff. So I'll give it an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10. Okay, my number one. Second album, released in 1969 and just called Idle Race. First album that I think Jeff Lynnes produced, so this is his first album in the producer's chair as well. So you've got Jeff Lynne, Dave Pritchard, Greg Masters and Roger Spencer. Okay, it was released in 1969 and the album failed to chart. So and Jeff Lynne became a bit disillusioned. Obviously he knew Roy Wood and he invited him to join the Move. So he went off and we'll learn about the Move not next week because something's happening next week. Be the week after, which I'll come to at the end of the show. So the first track is Come With Me. Oh, even on his first album producing, oh, that sound. It's a nice song as well, really good. Sea of Dreams, nice little song. Great vocals from Jeff on this, really nice song. Going Home, definitely the Seeds here. This has got orchestral, so this is him getting involved with cellos and violins, and it sounds really good. Remind Me of You, a song not written by Jeff Lynne, and you know, you can tell because it's not very well, it's not very good. Reminds Me of You is not particularly brilliant. Next track, Mr. Crow and Sir Norman, another of them weird and wonderful tunes out the Arnold Lane vein, and it's got a catchy hook though, it's not bad. Please No More Sad Songs. We should play that to Adele. No More Sad Songs. Very poppy. I think it was sort of him trying to get a little bit of commercial side in it. Girl at the Window, a little bit mediocre, not the best track. Now this is one of my favourite titles of a track, Big Chief Woolly Bosher. Again, very psychedelic, definitely out of the Pink Floyd book, pretty cool there. Someone Knocking, very Beatlesist, again very good. A Better Life, the Weatherman Knows. I would say this is very much, I think the Move could have played this one. It's that good. It is absolutely excellent. Hurry Up John, the last track. Nice guitar work from Jeff on here. Nice guitar solo. The sort of thing you got with the Move. But then it sort of goes downhill from there because the singing is absolutely shocking. So, first album to be produced by Jeff Lynnes. Some really good production. Although some of it's weird and wonderful, I could like his experimentation and getting the right sound. But you've got not just Jeff Lynnes as a performer, but Jeff Lynnes the producer was starting to show on this album. It's a shame that it didn't sell, but there are some bad tracks on it that sort of knock out the real good ones. But on the whole, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 ranking. Purely on more the production of this and Jeff Lynnes' vision. Okay. We won't be doing a part 2 next week because I'm finally moving. I'll go and pick the keys tomorrow. So next week there'll be some short little videos for the week because I am going to have to shut down for a week. I had lots of finishing off the packing, sorting up the Wi-Fi at the new place, etc. So I should be back on air on Monday the 13th, but we've got the rest of the week to go, so no problems. I'll go more into detail at the weekly update and tell you what I've actually got planned while I'm off air, but we've still got today to get through. So we've got the first of the Christmas madness. We're going to look at the 10 worst Christmas songs ever, and boy have we got some stinkers. There's some honourable mentions as well. I've thought of some this morning which I'll sort of add to the list, just mention it. So I'll be back for that later. Take care for now.